The human body was never designed to spend hours sinking into a soft, cushioned surface. For thousands of generations, we sat on the firm earth, on rocks, on logs, surfaces that demanded our muscles stay awake and engaged. That deep, comfortable armchair in your living room, the one that feels like a hug when you first sit down, it is quietly teaching your body the very posture of aging. That subtle groan when you stand up, the stiffness in your lower back that takes a moment to walk off, the feeling that gravity is winning the battle. That isn't just about the years. It's about the chair. Today we're going to uncover this hidden enemy in our homes, and I'll show you how to reclaim the strong, upright posture that is your birthright at any age. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for over 15 years, I've had the privilege of helping women navigate the incredible changes in their bodies with clarity and compassion. This channel is a space for us to do just that together. If you believe that your best years are not behind you, but are waiting to be lived with vitality, I invite you to subscribe and join our community. And I would so love to know who I'm speaking with today. Tell me in the comments. Where are you watching from? It fills my heart to see where this community of strong women comes together from all around the world. Now let's talk about that chair. We buy them for comfort, for relaxation. But what if I told you that very comfort is deactivating your body's natural corset, your foundational strength, 1 hour at a time? I call this the Cushy Chair Deactivation, and it's the #1 reason many women feel their stability and core strength begin to fade. It often shows up as a persistent, dull ache in the lower back, or a feeling of weakness in the hips when you go for a walk. You might feel perfectly fine while you're sitting, reading your book or watching a film, but the moment you decide to get up, your body protests. It's that moment of hesitation, of needing to place a hand on your thigh to push yourself up. I remember a patient of mine, a wonderful woman named Susan. Susan loved her big, plush recliner. She called it her throne. It was where she read to her grandchildren, did her crossword puzzles, and unwound at the end of the day. But she came to see me because her afternoon walks, which used to be her greatest joy, were becoming a chore. She described a deep ache in her hips and a feeling that her lower back was made of glass. She was worried she was becoming frail. The science behind Susan's experience is surprisingly simple. Think of your deep core muscles, the ones that wrap around your torso like a supportive corset, and your glute muscles, the powerful engines in your backside. These muscles are designed to hold you upright, stable, and strong. When you sit on a firm surface, these muscles have to do a little bit of work to keep you balanced. They stay switched on. But when you sink into a cushy armchair, the chair does all the work. It's like a hammock for your pelvis. Your muscles receive a signal that says, "You're not needed here. Go ahead and take a nap." Over time, they forget how to fire properly. They become sleepy, weak. So when you finally stand up, you're asking a sleeping team of muscles to suddenly lift a heavy load. Of course, they're going to groan and struggle. This is what creates that feeling of fragility and the chronic ache that Susan felt. The solution isn't to stand all day. It's to sit actively. I advised Susan to swap her throne for a firmer dining chair for parts of her day. The simple, natural solution is to follow the 90-90-90 rule whenever you can. This means sitting with your knees bent at a 90-degree angle, your hips at a 90-degree angle, and your ankles at a 90-degree angle, with your feet flat on the floor. To support your lower back's natural curve, simply roll up a small towel and place it behind you. This small change keeps your core and glutes awake. Within a few weeks, Susan told me the difference was like night and day. She felt lighter when she stood up. The ache in her hips had faded, and her walks became a joy again. She hadn't done a single new exercise. She had simply changed the way she sat. This is the power you have to re-engage your body's natural strength just by being more mindful of the surfaces that support you. You don't need a fancy gym, you just need a better chair. But the Cushy Chair Deactivation doesn't just affect our lower body. It creeps upward, creating what I call the forward head slump. which impacts everything from our breathing to our mood. This feels like persistent stiffness in your neck and shoulders. It's that tension headache that seems to appear out of nowhere in the middle of the afternoon. It can even manifest as a feeling of fatigue or brain fog. You see it in the mirror. Your head seems to be drifting forward, out of alignment with your spine, and your upper back has started to round. I worked with another lovely woman, Margaret, an avid reader who spent hours each day in her favorite armchair with her tablet. She complained of nagging headaches and a surprising shortness of breath. She said, "Emily, I feel like I can't get a full, satisfying breath anymore." She felt perpetually tired, even after a full night's sleep. Here's what was happening inside her body. Your head is heavy. It weighs about as much as a bowling ball. When it's balanced perfectly over your spine, your neck muscles can relax. But for every inch your head drifts forward, it adds about 10 pounds of pressure onto the muscles of your neck and upper back. Sinking into a soft chair encourages this forward slump. Your body curves into a C shape, and your head jets forward to compensate. This constant strain is what was causing Margaret's headaches, but it also compresses your chest. Your rib cage can't expand fully, and your diaphragm, the primary muscle for breathing, gets squished. You begin to take shallow, inefficient breaths, which starves your body and brain of the oxygen they need to feel energized and clear. The solution here is wonderfully simple and feels incredible. It's an exercise I call the wall angel. All you need is a flat wall. Stand with your back against the wall with your heels, your bottom, your shoulder blades, and the back of your head touching the wall if possible. Now bring your arms up into a goalpost position, with the backs of your hands and your elbows also touching the wall. From here, slowly slide your arms up the wall, and then slowly back down, keeping everything in contact with the wall. Do this 5 or 6 times, breathing deeply. This simple movement opens up your chest, pulls your head back into alignment, and counteracts hours of slumping. Margaret started doing wall angels twice a day. She told me the first time she did it, she took the deepest breath she'd felt in years. Her headaches lessened, her energy returned, and she felt taller and more confident. She was breathing life back into her body. This is something you can do right now to feel an immediate shift. It's a reminder that your body has a magnificent capacity to heal and realign, if you just give it the right signals. Now let's talk about something a little more personal, a topic that requires great gentleness, but is deeply connected to this same issue. That soft chair is also weakening the very foundation of your feminine core, your pelvic floor. This can show up in ways that can feel embarrassing or isolating. It's the fear of a leak when you laugh or sneeze. It's a subtle feeling of heaviness in your pelvis at the end of the day. It can also contribute to tightness in your hips, which affects your gait, your ability to walk with ease, and even your comfort during intimacy. So many women accept this as an inevitable part of aging or childbirth, but often, our posture is a major contributing factor. I think of Diane, a vibrant woman who had started turning down invitations to her weekly card game. She confessed to me, with tears in her eyes, that she was terrified of a sudden cough or a hearty laugh among friends. She felt like her body had betrayed her confidence, and she was shrinking her world to avoid potential embarrassment. The science connects directly back to the chair. When you sink into that cushy seat, your pelvis naturally rolls backward into what's called a posterior pelvic tilt. Your tailbone tucks under you. Imagine your pelvic floor is a responsive, supportive trampoline. This tucked position makes that trampoline slack and weak. It's no longer in the optimal position to support your organs or to contract quickly when you sneeze. Furthermore, this posture shortens and tightens the muscles at the front of your hips, your hip flexors. Over years, this can lead to that shuffling gait we mistakenly associate with old age. It's not age, it's mechanics. The solution is to reawaken this foundational area. While sitting on a firmer chair, I want you to practice the seated pelvic tilt. Place your feet flat on the floor. Now gently rock your pelvis forward, creating a small arch in your lower back. You'll feel your sits bones pressing into the chair. Then, gently rock your pelvis backward, tucking your tailbone and rounding your lower back slightly. Rock back and forth slowly and mindfully. This is not a big, dramatic movement. It's a subtle way of reminding your brain and your muscles how to find a neutral, strong pelvic position. It wakes up the entire system. Diane began doing this simple exercise and also made a rule to get up and walk around for 1 minute every half hour. She was retraining her body to find its strong foundation. In time, she regained her confidence. She went back to her card game, laughing freely. She felt in control again. This isn't about shame or failure. It's about understanding the mechanics of your beautiful body and giving it the support it truly needs. And that support comes from within, not from a plush cushion. Your body is not failing you. It is responding perfectly and logically to its environment. The aches, the slump, the weakness, these are not your fault. They are the predictable results of a modern invention that our ancient bodies were never meant to encounter. But you hold all the power to change this. Every time you choose a firmer chair, every time you do a gentle wall angel, every time you mindfully tilt your pelvis, you are sending your body a new message. You are sending a message of strength, of vitality, of resilience. You are not destined for frailty. Your posture, your energy, and your confidence are yours to reclaim. You are the architect of your own well-being. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, please share it with a sister, a mother, or a friend who deserves to feel strong and vibrant in her body. The greatest gift we can give each other is the knowledge that we have the power to heal. Until next time, be well and be kind to your magnificent body.